Hello everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Coding Insights by Kiran. So initially we discussed about the post methods, right? So in the post method, HTTP post method. So as we discussed, right? So right now we are using the in-memory database. So we'll use the CORD operations using the MySQL. So while that will come as part of the Spring Data JPA. Okay, so initially we used this postman, right? Okay, similarly we can write the get call also. So today we will discuss about the get employees method to fetch all the employee details which was stored, and after that we will write a one more get endpoint, so which will fetch the get employee id. So these two endpoints we will discuss today. Okay, let me start. Okay, so what we need to fetch, we need to fetch the employee details, right? Okay, public employees. So we need to fetch the list of employees. So list of employee get employee, or else get all employees. Get all employees. And what is this? This is the get mapping, right? Get mapping value of fetch all employees. Okay. Now what we need to do? We need to write a return statement. Return employee service dot get all employees. Employee details. Okay, we can separate this method. Okay, to differentiate with this get employees and get employee all details. So what we need to do, we need to create a method in the employee service. So there is a shortcut, right? If you go to here, it will give you that icon and you can create a method in employee service. Okay, this is how we can create. So next, so what is the next we need to do? Okay, go to this service class. Okay, and this is there, and go to this IMPL. So we don't have the implementation method, right? So if you click on this error method, it will ask what are the unimplemented methods. So add unimplemented method. If you click on this implemented methods, so it will ask. So just now we created a method, right? So it will ask to implement it. So what we need to return? Return a list of all employees, right? Right. So what we need to return? List of employees. We can return employees. Okay. Now we will test it. Okay. So there is no DAO layer. There is no database layer. So right now we are using the in-memory database. So we are storing all the objects in the in-memory. So once we go with the Spring Data JPA, we'll once we'll go with the Spring Data JPA. Okay, we'll use MySQL database, or else Postgres also. Anything is fine. We'll use one of the database and to fetch all the details. Okay. Now let me test in the Postman. Okay, so how it is working? So we can test these records to fetch all the details in the Postman. Okay. Okay, so we opened this Postman. Okay, let me click on this one. Okay, let me move this side. If you click on here, okay, it's not started. Application is not started. Okay, right. So once we can start the application, then we can hit this one. Okay. Yeah, application was started. Okay, let me start the application. Spring Boot application. Yes, it is building the application. So it will start. So Lombok requires enable annotation. We'll see this. Yeah, it is processing. We'll see. So application is started with the port 8080. If you see here, the log is on the port 8080. Now again we'll go to the Postman and we'll see how it is working. Yes, we opened the database now. Let me click on this send. Perfect. So we are able to save the record. Okay, now let me save this. One more. Let me add one more record. First name is Ashok. Last name is Kumar. He is from admin department. Okay, two records are saved. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll create a one more request, get request. Okay, what is that get request? Okay, this is the get request. HTTP colon. No, sorry, this is the request name. It's my bad. Fetch employees. All employees. We can put something. Okay, fetch all employees. Now here, okay, the same we can give API slash get all employees. Okay, 404. It means it is wrong. We'll see. Okay, so here we are getting a 404 error, right? So that means get employees is not found. So the here it is not get employees, fetch all employees. Okay, let me fetch. See, there are the two records are there. Initially we said with the coding insights, first name, last name is Kiran, and this is the employee ID, and the department is HR, and the second record is this one. So where these two records are storing, these two records are storing in the list objects. So we can call it as a in memory. So you can use the H2 database also. I will prepare a one more video for the H2 database, how to configure the H2 database, and how we can store the data into the H2 database, and how we can fetch. Okay, so this is how we can fetch the data by using the get method. Okay, so let me rewrite. So we have the two records, right? So similarly we can store and we can fetch by the ID. Okay, how we can fetch by the ID? Okay, I'll write a method. Okay, we'll write a one more get method to fetch the employee ID based on this ID. Okay, fine. Okay, now let me write a method public. So we'll record only one employee object, right? So based on the ID, it will return only one object. So I'll return as an employee as a return type. Employee get employee by ID. Get employee, okay, by ID. Any method we can give. Okay, so this is also a get mapping. Get mapping. So we need to pass an ID. So we need to pass an ID, right? Employee ID. So for this, how we need to pass? We need to pass like a path variable, right? Okay. So here we are using as a path variable string ID. Okay. You can give any name. Okay. Now employee service dot get employee details by id. So I'll pass this as a variable. So we'll create a method in the employee service. Okay, employee service, we create a method as employee service. Now go to the implementation, so it will show an error. So we need to implement that method in the IMPL class, employee IMPL class. So we are storing an in-memory database, right? So what we need to do, return. So we are saving in the list, right? EMP list. So employee list dot, okay, let me use streams. Okay, I'll give like this, employee list dot stream dot, okay, I'll filter what, how I need to filter employee dot get employee id dot equals id. So we are comparing the employee list object and filter out, and we are passing with this id, whatever the id we are passing from the path variable, right? We are passing that one. Okay, dot find any, we can find any dot get, it will give it as an optional employee object. Okay, why it is showing an error? Delete unreachable statement. Okay, make get employees return employee. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to return employee. So let me go to the controller here. Here it is employee. Go to this service. Here we can say it as a employee. So we'll return an employee object. Here also we can say it as a employee. Right? So done. What is this? Okay, introduce a local variable. That's fine. We can introduce a local variable and we can do that also. What we'll do? Let me type. Okay, employee emp data. Now return emp data. Okay, now let me rebuild this. So application is building, return statement is missing. Okay, we'll add return. So we didn't add the return statement, right? That could be the reason it is showing as a void method. So if we add a return initially, so the mistakes are happen, right? So if you add the return statement, then obviously that whatever that service method, right, in the service method interface, and it will create an employee object, employee as a return type. Okay, that's fine. That's not an issue. Okay. Okay, Tomcat is started. Okay, we will go to the postman and we will search it. We'll find it. Okay. Okay, fine. So for this, first we need to save the data. Okay, let me save this as a Ashok. Let me save this as a Kiran. My department is IT. See, there are two records. We can save one more record called Hari. Last name is Hari Babu. Department is network. So we are saving the three records. Okay, let me go to this method and let me fetch. So we'll get the three records. See, Ashok, Kiran, and Haribabu. Now we'll create a one more method, one more request type. What is that request type is? fetch employee by ID. Now we'll go here, go to this employee slash ID. So for ID, let me go here and I'll fetch ID with this one. Okay. Now go to here. Instead of fetch employee, we'll give the ID. This is the get method. See, perfect. We'll get the employee data. Similarly, we can test one more. Let me go to the Ashok's one, Ashok ID, employee ID. Let me copy this and go to here and let me paste here. See, Ashok. So this is how we can fetch the details, employee details based on the employee ID. Similarly, you can write with the first name, last name, and department as well. Okay. So this is how we can fetch the data from the using the get method. Okay. Yep. Thanks everyone. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, if you want any videos, any requirements regarding that, any other videos if you want to learn, so please post in a comment. So based on that, I'll prepare a videos and I'll reply to that. Thank you.